guys, welcome everybody back here to Jönköping, Sweden. We have DreamHack Summer 2011 going on, the $100,000 championship Season 1 tournament for League of Legends. I'd like to welcome everybody on the stream, and I'd like to welcome everybody that could make it here. It's an awesome event here in the Elmia Convention Center. Just an amazing time so far. Blood, sweat, and tears being poured out onto the tournament field right now. AAA finally coming back to stop the bleeding. Off of a loss, they were able to beat out Fnatic, and now Fnatic into their final game of the day. We just heard how they felt about that, and it's just been really back and forth for all these matches. Pacific not really faring so well. We're going to have to see how they can continue to do in the bracket of A, the Team A bracket rather, and you know, many more matches to come. We also got some forum threads up now. Ask the casters. You guys can queue us up for some questions and figure out, you know, what you want to ask us and what we can answer for you. We also have something we're going to be doing with the King Tryndamere, or the Viking Tryndamere skin, I should say, where you can tweet at Riot Pendragon and pound esports and pound League of Legends. So that's at Riot Pendragon, and also add pound esports and pound League of Legends. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to be taking names at Pendragon's Twitter as it blows up to give them the Viking Tryndamere skin, which is really only going to be available for the days and the people that come here to DreamHack.
It's an amazing skin. I don't know if you've seen it.
It's an awesome skin.
Brilliant, really. Yes, we just saw an amazing game here as well. AAA versus Fnatic. It is probably not a very well-kept secret that I'm a bit of a Fnatic fan, and it's tough to see them struggle without their full lineup. And they did a beautiful turnaround there after AAA picked up Baron once, and I was like, yes, they're coming back into the game. But they were too far behind at that point. I mean, you can do perfect play, and sometimes you can turn a team fight even late to the game. But if the other team has such a massive advantage, it's just not much you can do. And yes, like Riven just pointed out, we have asked the commentators for question threads up in EU and NA. And if you happen to be German, I did put one up in the German forums as well. I'm not sure how often I'll be able to check that one. But yeah, let's see if there are any good questions yet. Do you have any good questions in over the US?
I am searching at the moment. What do you have?
I have questions about Fnatic's lineup. How much of an impact the substitute made, and
well, it's really going to play a lot because it's almost like playing in a band, and Fnatic is one of those teams that has that camaraderie and the compassion to play with each other all the time, to be very localized and very smart about the actions that they make, almost knowing that, you know, the lead guitarist is going to do this next, so we should go to this beat, and you know that doesn't happen with somebody new on your team. They misstep, and League of Legends is all about the game of seconds. If you're off by a second, if you misclick, you miss last hit. If you're off by your stun, if you're off by your skill shot, you miss that, and that damage, whatever you're doing, the support, the CC, it makes a huge difference. And just having that one person, not to blame anything or everything on him, it sounds like that, but yeah, it's just something that can add to the role of making it that much harder to make the game an advantage in your favor.
Yeah, you do have team chat, so people are speaking to each other through a voice chat, but that is not enough. I mean, you can say go, and maybe you can actually initiate a go in time there, but if you can anticipate that that the AP in your team is going to do a go right now, if you can feel it in your bones, because you played hundreds and hundreds of games where you just know, oh yeah, Shuja is setting up for a go right now, and you all go without anyone needing to say anything.
It's almost when you know that your tank is taking that extra step, and you're like, that's the initiation. He hasn't done anything yet, but he wants to get in that fight, and you know.
At the same time, we have to say thanks so much for to Weevil Failure for actually stepping in here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure, and I'm sure that there's going to be some rage pointed at him. I mean,
for sure.
He didn't do too well in the beginning there. He actually played an amazing Vlad toward the end of the game, but at the beginning, the lane phase, he struggled, and you can tell he's a support player as well. He's out of his comfort zone here playing AP. But still, massive thanks to Weevil Failure here for jumping in for Fnatic and basically saving the tournament for them, because without him, they wouldn't have been in the tournament at all.
That's true. It would have been a forfeit. You can't really field 5, you know. If you can't field 5, you can't really field 4. Even if they want to, you know, it really wouldn't be advantageous. At this caliber of play, it's going to be such a disadvantage to try to come into a game as such and make things happen. We got any questions on the stream or on the forums here?
There's a couple of people who are asking about Freak's fandom of Dyrus, Freak being such a Dyrus fan, and I have to say, I mean, obviously as a shoutcaster, you try to be neutral, right? You try to be unbiased.
Of course.
Sometimes there are players completely notwithstanding whether they do well or not. You just like watching them. Like Freak said, Dyrus Singed is fun to watch. He's just running around doing shit, flinging people. And I have the same kind of thing with Shushi. I just love watching that kid play. He is creative, he's amazing, And very often he loses his team the game because he just goes in and does something ridiculous, which looks amazing on stream, but just ends up losing the game. And I think it's totally fine for one of us to say, I'm a huge fan of that player, I just love to watch him play. It's not like we influence the game.
There's nothing wrong with throwing kudos,
no,
especially with gameplay like that. Like you said, Dyrus Singed and the Shushe Alistar.
Hey, speaking about kudos, I think we should give another quick shout out to Steel Series, who've been supporting us here, and to Alienware as well, who've been giving us plenty of amazing laptops and
this beautiful HD stream to pay save card. Thank you very much.
Yes, if you like the quality of this stream, if you do appreciate the fact that you can see all this and all that in high quality, and the game as well, then yes, massive props there to PaySafeCard for supporting us there. Let me see. Yes, why are people shouting Demacia? I don't know. It's just it's a totally spontaneous thing that is not at all influenced by anything we're doing. No, we have a spin-to-win wheel.
For sure.
And I think one of the outcomes is that you actually have to shout Demacia. So it's something that they win. They win the right to shout Demacia. So if you hear them shouting in the background from time to time, if you are at DreamHack, and I'm sure there are lots of people here at DreamHack who are just watching the stream because they're lazy and getting up and walking all the way over to our booth sounds like work. Do come over here, check out the spin-to-win wheel, check out the free player area, and check out what it looks like to see lots of people actually watching esports in person.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
A lot of people watching the matches actually just figuring out, not even halfway through the day, it's way well before halfway. That free play area is there, and now it's actually starting to fill up quite big. Pendragon, Christian, which would be Preco, and a few other people. I believe Jeff Jew is getting in on the action. We have a lot of rioters here that are all mingling, talking with the community, handing out free stuff, because that's what we do.
Yes.
I mean, the community is the reason we are here right now, and the $100,000 tournament is because of the love for the game, because of the passion.
All right, and we are about ready to start the pick and ban phase here, so let me just tell the teams. Please hit the shiny start button once you're ready. Is it start? It says start, doesn't it? Yes. So there you go.
Begin play. Make it happen.
Begin. Yes, make it so. Do we now owe a lot of money to Paramount because I said make it so on stream? No, I don't think they have that.
No.
No, okay, I'm good. I'm fine. All right. Yes, we need to remember this one as well.
All right, so here's your lineup. We do have Westrice, Double Lift, Dyrus, Dan Din, and Saucy, as we have seen before. These guys are jumping into game. Fnatic with Shushe, Cyanide, Melisan, Lamias, and we do have EPIK, which is We Will Falfa.
Nice. The first ban, Rumble, right away. I know Rumble is not played in America, but the Americans have heard how strong he is in the team, in the hands of a good European team. So they ban him right away, and the ban from Fnatic is Corki. That is probably aimed at Westrice. Westrice plays a pretty good Corki, but he showed early today that he can play a devastating Vayne as well.
Yeah, it's like I said before, any carry in the hands of Corki, and I think that's the first Nidalee ban we've seen. A very good support and damage dealer character, or champion, I should say.
Absolutely.
And she's definitely late game with AP and some damage. She's just able to heal everybody and just chunk the health away of her opponents with a spear that goes at the distance. So the farther that spear goes that she throws, the more damage it does, and it can actually take about half of your health by the end of the game, just instantly like that.
There's the Vayne ban as well, so they don't want a strong AD carry. And yes, that's
very focused Westrice bans.
Wow. Twisted Fate as well. That seems to be a ban against a European meta as well. They probably don't know that we don't actually run the split push ban anymore. And Janna, that's a very good support taken out of the game. So they probably don't want Double Lift saving them. They're like, we can win this without Double Lift saving us on his Janna. Oh,
wow, two awesome picks.
Happy.
Two awesome picks. Of course you are. We do have Westrice picking up that Vladimir, flashing the ghost away. And we have Shushe again to show us what the AP Alistar can do. And there was a little bit of roam. It wasn't a focus roam on Alistar. He actually stayed in lane and soaked up as much as he could of that experience in gold before it went on. And there we are. We see the support on to Taric. And we will have to see for Cyanide. And it looks like there may be a switch up on this one as he is running Smite and Flash. So it could be a switch. He could just be going to change his summoners. But
no, Cyanide is the jungler. They're going to switch around. They just want to secure that Taric. And what that tells me is that they want to be aggressive in the bottom lane. They want to say we're going to shut down Westrice bottom lane, and that's what Taric does. Taric is considered the less optimal support in late game because he doesn't have as much of an impact on team fights, but he can turn a bottom lane around. So an aggressive Taric can get the enemy AD out of the team.
Yeah, definitely for the strong play right away.
So if Shusha actually changed to Misfortune the last moment, trolling us a little bit, that Misfortune is going to go to Lamia, no doubt. He is just infamous almost for his Misfortune. It remains to be seen what Shusha wants to play, but the AP Alistair would definitely be an option. And yeah, what AP Alistair actually did last game is he dominated mid lane until that tower was done. He was like, oh, I'm switching to top now, I'm dominating that now. So that must have been horrible for Team Pacific.
Now, personally, I'd love to see a double lift Poppy, because how much fun was that? A Blitz, and the Blitz, yes, for sure, a double lift with amazing pulls on Blitzcrank coming out of the NA games, the regionals, as we saw in the tournament. So here we go, Dyrus on Soraka.
Probably going to switch that over to double lift, I guess. Unless double lift picks something very double lifty, I think there's going to be a switch setup there. So yeah, double lift with a god like Poppy in the US qualifiers.
It's very team composition built, though. You can't just choose Poppy and expect to, you know, let Poppy run around the map.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes. Okay, that's going to be a switch to who's their jungler again? Is it Dandin?
Yes, it's going to be Dandin. Yes. He was Warwick last time we commentated the match and watched it go.
Okay, there is the Alistair after all.
The switch for Shusha.
I think what they deliberated there is can we leave Misfortune open or not, and they said it's safer to leave Alistair open because it's highly unlikely that
they will pick it.
Yes, exactly.
And that would be a very difficult troll pick. You know, you have to play possibly one of your less effective characters just to troll Shusha that hard. But you know, it's not something they want to do. They're going to go into this match strong, 110% about the confidence of their characters.
Yes, they could have banned that as well. And for a long time, Alistair was played as a roaming character in NA, but the more that NA takes up the European metagame, the less that becomes viable, because in the European metagame all lanes are very, very safe. And that roaming Alistair, if he doesn't get a couple of kills in, that's bad. Here we see the jungler for Team Fnatic. This is going to be switched over to Cyanide, who is, I would say, famous for his Jarvan. He plays one of the meanest jungle Jarvans in the whole of Europe, so that's going to be a pleasure to watch as well.
And Jarvan's a very deceiving character. You know, he looks like he may not have a lot of health, but then he just procs the shield, comes in, starts shredding your armor, gets his flag toss, pops you up, and he's really just a strong initiator, especially with his ultimate. You know, there's not a lot you can do except for flash out of the ultimate. He can instantly just deactivate it and continue with the fight. Now, so it's really big.
Imagine Jarvan gang on bottom lane here. Taric stuns the enemy carrier, runs in, shatters for armor shred, then Jarvan comes in, shreds some armor, and then there is Misfortune with a giant troll grin on her face.
We'll have to see what Dandin rather, and Salsi choose to pick up on this one.
I would like to see an Annie actually from Salsi. I'd really like to see that. I hear he's famous for his Annie. I haven't seen him play an Annie yet. Huh.
Wow.
Really? Westrise? Whoa.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. We actually saw a lot coming from Westrise. It was one of the 5 seconds that he was attacking next to that top lane. I forget who the game was against, but it was the most I've ever seen a Kali move in 5 seconds. Like, I didn't know that much action could happen. And his fingers must have been flying around. He utilizes her abilities so well, understanding when to flash out, when to jump in, when to throw down the shroud, and really just cover himself.
And a blind monk in the jungle.
Yes, it will be.
Who can actually jungle, because he is Lee Sin, the blind monk.
So it looks like they will be leaving, or possibly double lift in the jungle, but it looks like they will be, you know, switching that to Dandin.
Yeah, laning Amumu doesn't make any sense. So you can have a laning? Sorry, I'm confused. I are confused. This American game does not make any sense to me.
That's not something, you see in the European
No, you don't see a laning Lee Sin. That's just strange. Westrise with the Akali, she's considered... a Swain. Interesting.
Wow.
So we have AP Swain and AP Alistair. Swain is going to go top lane and probably shut down
Switch
Akali.
the brand.
This is... Really?
Yes.
The Swain would have made so much sense
against the Akali. The Swain would have made a lot of sense. That's a lot of heal for one team, especially Swain, self-sustaining. You have Taric to come around, and he is going to switch back to Swain. It's just the composition with that team is amazing.
I think what's very important is that Akali is shut down by Swain. So in the laning phase, and Akali needs to be able to be mobile. And Swain can just put his AoE root down in her AoE invisibility, root her. He can turn on his ultimate, doesn't matter if she's invisible, it'll still do damage to her. Once he laser birds her, I'm sorry, that skill has a real name, doesn't it? But it's laser bird. Once he laser birds her, invisibility isn't going to help her either. So Swain is the hard counter to Akali, and I definitely expect to see him laning against her. So we indeed have a laning Lee Sin, and Westrise, a little fun fact here about Westrise, on his US account when I checked yesterday, he had 742 ranked games with Akali. So I think it's safe to say the guy knows how to play the character.
Yeah, possibly.
He's kind of famous for her to the point that at one point I heard people say, yeah, if you ban Akali, you counter play Westrise. But it's not as simple as that. His Vayne is amazing.
No, Westrise is not easily countered. He's just one of those people that understands a carry, understands how to position. Some people can go from like, I know how to play a tank, I can take a lot of damage, I can be in the fight. And you know, if you stand too close to the carry, you're instantly focused and you're instantly taken out of the fight, or you have to expend one of your summoner spells, and that really takes you out of the fight right away. You can't even get as close as you did before. Your summoner spells are gone. And we can see actually a few members. We do have Dan Din using Ghost, not too much of a problem. He does have his bandage to get across the map.
True.
And Sauce is also not using a flash as well, or double lift.
Interesting.
So that's going to be, it's going to be very interesting to see the escapes that EPIK may have to use if they're caught off guard in the fight.
But once again, I'm still stuck on Akali. Sorry for being stuck there a little bit, but there's so much in Team Fnatic that basically shuts down Akali. If she gets close to the carry, Alistair knock up. Cyanide can jump her with
even in a
ultimate.
Shroud, she can get pulverized by Alistair.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And Cyanide can knock her up as well. There can be a stun from Taric. Swain can slow her. I don't see how
Swain with the root as well?
Oh yeah, the root as well on top of that. It's just like, how is she going to find the room to breathe? I mean, an Akali that gets fed is so scary. You don't want that to happen to you ever. And especially on somebody who knows exactly how to play Akali.
Because you're looking, you have to defend hybrid.
Yeah,
it's going to come out with a lot of AP, a lot more AP over damage, but you're still going to stack both in the form that you can.
Oh, I love that skin. That is the
Blood Moon.
Blood Moon Akali skin. Ah, that's a brilliant skin. So yes, we're going to see skins and champions in-game any moment now. We're looking at the players now still. We are loading into this game right now. This is going to be hard. I have to say I am a little bit afraid for Fnatic here. Weevil is not a bad player by any definition of the word, like we said, but he is not on one wavelength. There is no telepathy with him, you know? Right. And I'm a little bit concerned about that. We'll have to see how they do. The game is on right now. EPIK Gaming versus Fnatic. And
it looks like we actually may be getting a restart on the game here. We've like had 5 members of Fnatic exit the game. EPIK has also began to exit the game, so we're going to get this restarted ASAP for you right now. Also, don't forget to check out the Riot Pendragon, at Riot Pendragon on Twitter if you're a tweeter. Go check that out. Get on your Twitter right now. Tweet to Pendragon something about the Viking Tryndamere skin, as well as... as well as Pound Esports and Pound League of Legends. We're going to be looking at Pendragon's Twitter for the next 5 minutes, and we're going to be handing out free Viking Tryndamere skins, which is not very easy to get. Obviously, you might have to travel to Sweden to get one.
Oh yeah, and it's totally worth traveling to Sweden for. Well, I guess it's only worth traveling to Sweden for if you say worth it in all chat afterwards.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so we're getting this game remade. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but the game is filling up quickly again. Let me go and spectate. I don't think I should play there. Okay. Interesting. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but we're remaking the game now. We are about ready. We just have one player from Fnatic who needs to join the game. I hope we have all spectators in. You are in the game. We have one more spectator in. Very good. Yes, they're really scared apparently. That's what it was. So. What do you think, Raven? Do they need to ban and pick the same champions now?
I think by just, you know, what happened there, I think they will go ahead and ban and pick the same teams. They're going to want to see what the gameplay comes out to be. They're actually 2 very solid teams on both sides. Like you said, though, Westrice's Akali could be shut down by the amount of CC and ability stun that comes out of the hands of Fnatic.
Yep. So unless one of the tournament admins corrects me, I'll just say we'll have to go with the same bans and picks and just go through it quickly.
Looks like we're getting League of Legends started up. I believe it may have been one of the gentlemen from Fnatic that actually kind of went out of the game, and it caused everybody to have to leave that one. Not a problem. We're going to get a quick blip solved and back into the game.
Happens.
Indeed it does.
Oh, so it seems to be Lamia having trouble with his PC there right now. Okay.
Indeed. So if you don't know much about League of Legends, it is a 5v5 multiplayer online battle arena, which means you're pitted against the other team. You start in the bottom left or the top right. There are 3 main lanes, a top lane, a bottom lane, and we are going to have the middle lane. The middle lane is usually a 1v1 situation. They are left to fight against each other. That's more or less your carry. The carry means they do a lot of damage. It's the ones you want to give the kills to. They're the ones that are really going to be in the back initiating the damage, not initiating the fight, which can be easily confused. That's the tank's job. You want to run in there and soak up as much damage as possible. What players do you usually look to play?
What players do I usually?
They're champions.
What I play personally, I am more of a jungler. So it's
all right. So good aspect. We haven't even talked about that yet as well. And the jungler can go around by himself. There's a path through the jungle, opposite paths you can take. You know, you can invade and counter jungle the other jungler. The jungles are somewhat set up. They're mirrored on both sides. So if the red is in the top left on one side, it's going to be in the bottom right on the other side. That's actually how the blues work. The reds are in the bottom right and the top left. So these guys look to, you know, get in the jungle, counter each other, steal each other's buffs, and that really plays the mentality game of, you know, the jungler is affected really early in the game. It's going to affect them really late in the game as well, especially if the team can't get in too many kills. Turrets are taken down through each lane. There's 3 turrets to get down the lane, and 1, 2, and then the succession of the 3rd turret allows you to go after the inhibitor. Taking down the inhibitor, there are 3 on the map, 1 for each lane. You're able to take that down and spawn super minions. These minions will go down the map in very late game. They will start to do a ton of damage. It can actually take out a pretty squishy champion quite quickly. If you were to fight a champion or a super minion face to face with Ashe late game, if you didn't have enough critical damage, they're going to do quite a bit of damage to you, and they're going to make you cause to go back and heal on your fountain. After those inhibitors are taken down, at least 1, you can start going for the Nexus turrets. The Nexus turrets are the only turrets in the game that will heal back up, and there are 2 turrets that are quite close together, but if you are on either side, far side of the turrets away from the middle, you can only be shot by 1, and it's very effective. If you have a tanky character and you don't have a lot of minions, you can use that tanky character to what is called face tank the turret and take the damage to yourself, allowing you to take out the Nexus all by yourself. Win the game, or not all by yourself, with your team, and win the game. It looks like everybody is back in the matchup here, and we're going to be looking to get this going right now on 5v5 Summoner's Rift, the match that we are playing throughout the entire tournament. And let's get this $100,000 Season 1 Championship underway. This is your first day of games here at the Elmia Convention Center for DreamHack in Jönköping, Sweden. And again, the first pan is Rumble. It looks like they will go the same way.
Yes, I asked them to actually take the same balance picks.
Very good.
It's also going to speed things up. And yeah, it's just fair because in the game that we had before where we cancelled, there was just 1 pick so far, and I didn't feel like forcing them to just take that 1 pick again. But in here we showed the entire lineups, exactly what they were going for. Yeah, they don't need to be afraid of the enemy team.
Pick it out.
So they just pick whatever they play right now. That's the Taric.
There we go.
The double lift. What was he playing again?
Lee Sin.
Oh yeah, right.
It blew your mind, so you couldn't even remember.
Yeah, it still does blow my mind. They don't really have a support then, do they? Or was Dyrus playing support? Why don't they have roles? We have such easily defined roles. Like Cyanide will always jungle, Melisum is always going to play support, Shushay and EPIK will always play AP, and Lamia will always play AD. And it's just like Dyrus played Singed last game. Now he plays Soraka. It's how do they do this? American meta. How do they work?
It's really different. Sometimes your abilities to play a character are here and here. You know, in here it's kind of all right with those, but you know, absolute support to absolute tank.
Right.
And you know, Singed can also be used as a support as well. Not so much a support, but you know, you can always go around guard. You can get people to change their mind about chasing somebody because you're with Singed. You have low health. Singed can just kind of run next to you. Obviously, adding support, but not a support character, and it really changes the mind of what that person wants to do. You're being kited for a very long time, and you really have to know when you're overextending. So Singed can create that experience for the opposing team and really just shut them down in the fight.
He's still not what you call a support character.
No, not at all.
It's interesting to me at any rate. I mean, Double Lift now playing a Lee Sin. I really wonder where he's going to fit there. I mean, is he going to go... Yeah, he has to go bot lane with Soraka then. Melees on bot lane is not something you see in Europe. It's interesting. Maybe you guys are onto something there. Possibly. I would definitely like to see a little bit more variety. In Europe, it's rather, I wouldn't say stale, but you could expect a ranged AD and a support every single game on bot lane. We'll have to see. So, what's your prediction here?
You know, it's kind of different. The way they could take it, they could definitely put Double Lift or Akali up top.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they could, I guess.
Double lift with the shield on Lee Sin could do some good damage. Akali, a little bit better. She can usually put down the shroud, stay in the bushes, come in and out of the bushes, farm herself up. But I think the double lift down bottom with Soraka would be huge. With Lee Sin being somewhat of a character that can take damage. He's not very squishy at all. He's kind of right in the middle, a little more to the defensive side. And especially with his abilities going for Tempest, able to throw down, get vision, and really slow down and start to affect that lane as Dyrus just
Is he going to be
shreds.
able to farm? I mean, the Misfortune is just going to punish him every single time he steps forward to.
That is true. You're going to
minion.
probably see the Swain in mid, and the Misfortune would be down bottom, doubling up every time that that Lee Sin wants to get close to those minions.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have to see. We're loading into the game once again. Let's hope that whatever happened last time is not going to happen again now. I really want to see a close game here. I'm a little bit worried for Fnatic. I really want them to win this, but Epic Gaming have been really blowing my mind so far. And I mean, creds to them. They totally train for this. It shows. And that's what we want to see. We want to see teams that actually play well together, do well.
Yeah, it's really great to see when everybody comes together. Everybody's thinking the same way without saying anything.
Telepathy.
It's just some subliminal, you know. You go in there, like I said, it's that one step that your tank takes, and you know there's going to be initiation, and you get into the match. We're going to see what this game has to offer. Let's get right into it. And here we are hopping right into the match. We'll see what kind of invasion we have going on. And looks like Misfortune is going to be using that strut to get far across the map. We have the Fog of War on right now, so you can see where everybody's moving within their jungle. We're going to go ahead and put that to the dual Fog of War for both sides. And it looks like they're kind of just opposite sides of each other, not knowing it right now. On either side of those bushes, there will be a nice jungle invasion, however, coming from the hands of Fnatic. They're being very aggressive on this one. I don't know if the other team knows this. It looks like they could walk right into him. Lee Sin could be the first one here. Double lift walking right into the bush. He will face check this, and he could be going down. He is absolutely going down.
Wow.
The first hill to come out before a minute of the game, and Fnatic starts this one off, letting Epic Gaming know that they are ready to play in this one. And nope, they're still standing there. Who wants next?
Yeah, yes.
Who wants to go in the bush
Come
next?
on, let's go again. Let's go again. We're ready. Yeah, they talked to me about the level 1 fights. I asked them, does Europe just not do level 1 fights? They were like, it depends. We look at the composition, and literally, Shushi said to me, if we have Taric and Alistair, we're always going to go for a level 1 fight. And there you go, gentlemen. That's why that happens. And it looks like Amumu, all alone by himself, crying to himself. Let's zoom in on him a little bit. Yeah, he looks sad, doesn't he? There we
He's
go.
looking for some friends.
I hope that there's somebody at home right now doing the freak game.
So we actually do not have the team going back. They're going to get that money, and they're actually going to go right for Wraiths, take down the Wraiths, possibly head back, but it looks like they're going to go to the lanes. They don't want to lose any experience. You really want to get there when the minions do.
I think they'll take the red. Look at that. Yep, they're taking the red. And this is just going to be so painful. A Misfortune with red early in the game. Wow, it's going to be no fun at all for Lee Sin in that lane down there.
Yeah, that really worked out for him well. This is actually the most jungle control I've seen in a game. And look at that, leaving the last one. That means that the red buff will not respawn in the amount of time it usually does. They're going to have to take that down, and Amumu is going to be even more sad. And we're going to see going down towards bottom. What is going on here? Soraka in the bush. Dyrus not seeing where everybody's coming from. The Dazzle coming out of the hands of Taric. Actually, he goes on to double lift. Double lift possibly going down in a matter of 2 minutes, and twice in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Double lift has fallen and is now gray screened again, waiting to get back in the match. Soraka was kind of waiting there like, come on, double lift, let's get out of here, man. But she was out of there by herself, and we are going to see a very good gameplay by Fnatic so far. 2 up, 3 minutes into the game.
I like that. That was why they gave red to Jarvan. Obviously, it slows more on a melee, and Akali and Swain just duking it out a little bit there. It looks so far. Westrise, wow, super aggressive there. Takes a tower hit though, but 2 potions still on Swain, 3 potions still on Akali. So she was probably right to do this.
Yeah, it's definitely some damage early game from Westrise, which is what you're going to see all game. And it looks like we see Alistar moving up, just like timing what was going on here. And,
he's switching. Yeah. Swain says, I'm sorry, I can't handle Westrise. And
yep.
Oh, what did we miss there? Somewhere an Amumu died to a turret.
Yeah, Dan Din went into the jungle. I believe he stole top golems. We'll see if the top golems are still there.
Yeah,
and it looks like, yeah, he was able to take out one of them. It was very low health. Didn't want to get any more damage done to him. It would have been a very easy kill for the other team. So he went ahead and executed himself amongst the turret. Not really that bad. You're kind of going to lose experience being able to soak things up in lane. But again, he wanted to somewhat counter jungle what's happening with Jarvan right now because they have such an advantage. A great pulverize coming out of the hands of Shushay, and Westrice not really being able to do that much damage now. Tanky, but a very nice burst there on the mark of the assassin. And it looks like he will continue to use his abilities effectively against Shushay as well.
Wow. It looks like they don't actually have an answer to Akali. They told me we know how to counter Akali, but it doesn't look that way right now. It just looks like she's doing work on them. I mean, Swain is considered the hard counter to her, and he was pushed out of lane very, very quickly, and now even Shushay can't do much. Amumu setting up for a gank, potentially down here. Level 3 now, he doesn't have any buffs, obviously, he just died. And they're trying to do some damage to Doublet, going a little bit far ahead. Let's see the banishes. Yes, good banishes.
Nice.
See if they can do the damage on him. And actually, they went for Misfortune. That's why Lee Sin didn't hit his
I think
resonating strike.
That bandage toss was to pretty much get over there by the people, almost go for Misfortune, but Tarek able to stop that one down. We do see that Vladimir still pushing Swain back in middle, not too much. They're kind of just poking each other back and forth. And really that Westrice on Akali to Swain, you know, Swain can never move. He can also do a little bit of health steal, but I think that damage coming out of the hands of Westrice, even though he picks up boots and pots in the beginning, just went back, I believe, getting his damage or AP to trigger that passive that Akali has. And he's playing a very smart game. Jarvan moving around the jungle very well right now, going for his wraiths, still on a double buff. Level 4 already. We're going to see what Amumu is at. He is at level 3, and he's about to find out that his red is gone. Sad Amumu is sad, and he is going to check that out. He's going to say, yeah, I'll take the lane. He smites it. He's just so disgruntled he wanted to smite it. Unfortunate, but they are able to move back in the game. Looks like a kill down bottom. They're able to take down double lift, and he was just coming out of the bush. A nice job right there. MF coming up with that on the double up kill, and we are going to see Tarek kind of going around top. A ward has been placed by these guys, and just a little mid poke going on between Swain and Vladimir at this point in time. Akali does not have anything up top, and she makes that apparent by the ping you just saw on the map, letting her team know my lane is AFK. I don't have time to type it to you. I want to focus on these last hits.
Let's see if Jarvan can do some magic against Salsa here, but of course Salsa just... Yeah, well, he did have the dot on him, so he still took that, but yeah, it wasn't enough damage. It just wasn't enough damage.
That could have been some nice damage if they knew the never move was going to attack or hit Salsa right after he came out of Sanguine Pool. We can see Jarvan moving around. Will he meet Amumu in the river? And they do somewhat see each other. Maybe he was in the bush in time, and he was in the bush. He did not see him, so Amumu now in place to do some damage here, but he does see that actually it's level 4 to level 4. The red buff will, however, give Jarvan the advantage and the damage to be done. I don't believe that he was able to see that ward go down, and Amumu now returns to his jungle or possibly up top. It looks like he will go fully up top to Alistar.
Tarek returning from base with a Heart of Gold and a Fairy Tail. Oh, and let's see if Shushay can do enough damage to Westrice. Yes, and with the wonderful bandage toss there, no, actually the bandage toss on Shushay, of course, and it wasn't enough to stop him. The damage was done. And is Dandin going to go down? And no, there's not enough time left on Shushay's ultimate. If he just now used his ultimate, he could have dived. But as you can see, Jarvan was just a little bit after the enemy jungler. They're helping out his top lane, but Shushay was like, I don't need help. I'll kill Westrice by myself.
Yeah, very good job. Both lanes, or every lane, I should say, being very aggressive at this point. Well, we can see the Fnatic 4-0 at this point in time, playing very aggressively and very strong. We have Soraka coming back down bottom. Oh, good silence coming up on Melisande right there, dodging the dazzle and what would have been a lot of damage. MF, however, not too much mana under her belt at this point in time, and we are going to see Alistar returning to lane, Jarvan returning back to the jungle, Akali finally back up top, and it looks like Amumu will head back into the jungle after soaking up a little bit more XP. The wards are already going down, and we can see the wards in the buy menus, pretty much very abundant on Fnatic's side.
Yeah. Vladimir obviously starting with a pistol. Spellvamp is just so powerful. But oh yeah, it looks like slowly, Swain can heal more with his ultimate. It costs mana, of course, but still, he can actually push him out of lane. Yeah,
at this point in time, it's really the donate. Let's get blue, donate it to Swain, and he can just continue to be a giant bird.
Exactly.
Steal health back, doesn't have to worry about anybody. And he's being very aggressive right now, letting Salsi know he's not worried about it. We Will Filler is doing very well right now at controlling his lane and being very dominant. It is 7-7, or level 7 to level 7 in mid lane right now. So, Vladimir with his pool, with his transfusion, really shouldn't be too worried, but the health regen and sustain of Swain is really just that much better. We can see Alistar trying to poke around with Akali up top. No, she's in the bush, possibly. Maybe she made it in time. And there's some damage, just quickly butting her back into the bush, saying, no, none of that here today.
And, but Jarvan is in position. Jarvan coming in right now with an ultimate. She had flash up though. She will probably get away. He slides in. He doesn't have a red buff to slow her, and so she unfortunately gets away there. That was a good ultimate from Jarvan there. It forced her to burn flash. That means she is going to have to be a lot more passive.
Yeah, she also doesn't have any ward control coming out of Mumu right now. Being so hurt in the jungle right there. She actually has a ward herself. Probably going to lay that down as she comes back out. A very nice Sanguine Pool in the hands of Salsi. Able to get out of that by a failure. And he is going to continue to just farm his lane. Vladimir is not a mana character. He actually uses his own HP to conduct his spells, and he gains a little bit of that percentage back while using it and by the spell. So it's kind of counters itself as well as works together. A lot of damage being taken down by Dandan. An ultimate to possibly do more. He didn't get all the damage that he wanted out of that one. And the Alistar combo almost leaving him with 0 health, just about 50 HP, and a very nice try there coming out of the hands of Shushay.
He didn't have enough mana for
wow.
That's a
Shushay going down. Will he be able to make it to the turret in time? She does have ult. No. There's the damage. Shushay goes down, and it looks like Westrice gets a little bit of revenge there.
Yes, finally there. Yeah, he shouldn't have gone for Amumu, seeing that he didn't have enough mana, but obviously you just want to try it. Amumu was very, very low. If he had had that mana for that power rise, that would have been a kill right there.
Yeah, it actually worked out very well that Amumu was walking back and that Shushay followed so far with Westrice right on his heels, so that worked out for him.
Yep. Absolutely. I see how the Lee Sin works now. When he sees the dazzle coming in, he just shields away to a minion and gets him. That's how it works. Okay, but still, look at that. 81 farm for Misfortune and 49 for Lee Sin. That is not a good lane. And top, Jarvan has to go top defend against Akali there, actually. Alistar, well, the one kill shouldn't throw him back too much. You can see he built a Cage's Lucky Pick, which means, wow, look at that blood diving, which means that he's not quite as confident. You build Cage's Lucky Pick or any other gold per 5 items if you expect a long game. And Alistar is back. Wow, look at the damage that Akali does to Jarvan. Yeah, juked, and she's going for him.
Wow, that is Westrice on his game right there. You can hear the crowd loving every second of it. Alistar, however, right on his heels. There comes the Clairvoyance. Able to dodge past again. Does he have his Shroud to come up? It is on a high cooldown. If he can get that down, it's pretty much over. Alistar will not be able to chase on this. And just dodging away once again, losing a little bit of the angle on that one. So he didn't gain too much, but Alistar gives up. Shushay not following. And a huge dive into the middle of top lane, all the way past the first turret on the side of Fnatic was advantageous.
We missed the kill against Swain in mid at the same time, so it looks like Vladimir is finally getting back into this one. Unfortunately for We Will Failure there.
Yeah, not really working.
Yeah, but I'm sure that if EPIK was playing this Swain, it would look quite different. But well, we have what we have.
Indeed.
Oh, Westrice, that might have been a little bit optimistic of you there. Yeah, I think that should be a dead Akali finally. Come on, get the Polarize in. Oh, wow, that was close. Oh wow, if he had not used his ultimate, he would have been dead.
He would have gone right through all the HP that he needed to. Shushay would have been dead without the ignite, and Westrice would still be alive. Looks like he's going to get a good amount of damage on this one. He's not even leaving it to chance. He can't really see everybody on the map right now. A big tussle down bottom, and we're going to see Soraka just trying to lower the MR right now of Melisande. There's a Lee Sin attack, and he will be able to get his Q to activate again, flashing over into Dragon, and it looks like they will be able to catch him in a 3v1 situation. MS is forced to stay back. Vladimir comes down, he says, hey, I want to party too. Doesn't make it in time. Salsi just goes back to middle, and it looks like we're going to see the first Dragon control of the game going in favor of EPIK. Fnatic was doing very well before. 4 kills now in favor of EPIK. They've kind of brought themselves back into the game within 1,000 gold of the game as well. And the Never Move, a nice Sanguine Pool, just missing out on that one. And as I was saying, EPIK has definitely turned the tables of the first 2 minutes of this game. Doublelift probably feeling a little bit better about himself after dying twice, which isn't really that helpful. But, that's what happens. Things can happen early game that don't mean anything into the late game.
Yes, absolutely. That Dragon pickup was very, very important. They caught right up again in Team Gold, and wow, that West Rice Akali is so aggressive. Look at that.
Vladimir almost going down in middle.
Amazing.
That was very, very, very low health there. He was able to pull just in time. You can see him actually using a health pot to negate a little bit of the Ignite. Ignite will cut that in half of any healing that you receive, and it's very good for players like Vladimir, players like Soraka, Sona, and as well Alistar, and any healer that is trying to give you that burst heal.
Yeah. Do you know if it cuts down lifesteal in half as well? It should, shouldn't it? Ignite.
Steal, yes. It's healing.
Yeah, it's healing. So yes, against anyone who lifesteals, it's just a must-have ability.
You can see Melisande down bottom with Tarek. Kind of be annoying here, being that guy that stands in the bush, and he just dodges the Q from Double Lift. Double Lift's like, oh, it's kind of safe. He's not there. That didn't hit him, but it looks like he's still going to be very cautious. Soraka coming back down, I believe, maybe placing some wards. She does have one out, and she is going to put it right in there. That CV going down right above her by the hands, I believe, of Fnatic, and it looks like they're going to be very cautious about this right now. Akali and West Rice and Shushi kind of trading some damage there. It looks like Jarvan in middle, ulting onto Salsi. Will he be able to get the damage down? Sanguine Pool, but it's not going to be enough. The Ignite onto the Sanguine Pool before he went down was able to take him out, and Salsi finally dies. There was twice he made it out alive. I guess he only had 3 lives. He'll be back in a little bit to do some more damage, but a very nice job there by Fnatic, finally taking him down in mid after so many attempts.
That's one of the reasons why Swain is considered a hard counter to Vladimir, because that laser bird goes through pool. You can pool and you'll still take the damage from the laser bird.
A lot of damage down bottom. Looks like this turret will go down. They're being very aggressive on their turret as well. It looks like the Dazzle comes out, dropped in the W of Misfortune. Can she get a double up onto Double Lift? And she does, taking him down. I believe that was actually just her regular fire. Still doing a lot of damage right now. And she already has that BF sword going straight for the Bloodthirster. The Berserker to speed up her attacks, give her that health back as well when she is attacking. And it looks like Akali wants a little bit to do with Swain right now. We'll see where the damage comes from. She is taking a little bit there. Never move, stopping right onto her. Will he be able to do enough damage? I think she should get away on this one if she has flash up. And she actually flashes, or she ults into him and then shrouds out, quickly getting out there. Never move, could be too far away, and the dash, she does end up flashing. And not too much there. Double flash, yes, as well. And we're going to have to see what happens here in the 2v1 situation.
Rivington, what does it mean? Double flash.
All the way across the sky.
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice long distance bandage toss, but he is in a lot of trouble here. These two guys can dive like no one else, basically. And
not really taking too much damage either.
Yeah, exactly, yes. And yeah, Swain can just heal him up.
Jarvan just worried about the turret.
Yep, take the turret down. That's 2-0 turret kills right now. That's looking not too bad for Fnatic there. And they're almost 3,000 gold ahead.
So we're going to see, it looks like Tarek actually backing a nice hit there. A little combo from Alistar onto Salsi, doing a lot of damage, transfusioning his health back. That is the Q of Salsi and Vladimir. Like I said, self-sustained champion. Probably one of those ones in lanes that make you cringe, but he is one that is easily countered, as we have seen by the Swain. And as you said before, looks like MF doing a little invasion in the jungle to place a ward down right above that left side of, or right side, I should say, of blue buff. On that is EPIK's side. Dan Din still continuing to go through his jungle, and you can see the pings all over, making sure, you know, we don't have this area covered. They may have just warded here. We saw a few things going on here. There was a CV that came down. You know, be careful, play cautious, and don't leave anything to chance. And we can see Salsi trying to push up a little bit here. You can kind of act as bait for your team. Push up. The other team thinks they can get you. You just pull away, and that's something that they actually see at this caliber of play. They're not going to bite, but he is trying to get that out of them.
So they left bottom lane, obviously, because the tower is down right now. That means Misfortune needs to do some damage in other lanes, because currently Lisa can just free farm. Amumu catches Tarek there, but Tarek shouldn't be in any danger. Misfortune is too near for Vladimir to be able to go in. West Rice now, is he getting in position? No, he was just having a look into the river. And Fnatic saw him, obviously, with that great ward placement there. Wards, wards, wards. We cannot say it often enough. Wards win games.
One of the biggest investments you can have in a game of League of Legends, especially on Summoner's Rift. There is just so much to go around, so many different paths you can take, flashing over walls, being able to use your abilities to go through walls. I don't think we have too many characters like that unless Akali really jumps to an enemy or such. And we see Tarek going down, checking down Dragon, seeing that it is down. We should see that up actually in a few minutes. We're now 18 minutes into the game with 2 turrets down in favor of Fnatic. West Rice doing a lot of damage to Filler on Swain right there with Akali. Huge, just chunking his health away with that damage output. And we see MF pushing down hard, or down on bottom pretty hard as well. Alistar, or Shushay rather, will gather together with her down bottom. Tarek looking to go middle and possibly give Salsi a little bit of trouble, but we're watching these guys down bottom at the moment. We'll see what they do. Actually, no action. They kind of backed off, being very cautious about their play as Tarek continues to make his way mid. They're pinging Akali up top. She doesn't have a turret behind her, and they kind of want to get a kill down on her. She does have a little money behind her. The more kills you get, the more money you stack up and the more money you're worth. So being able to take down those champions after getting a few more kills definitely works in your favor. Looks like they have found him in a 3v1 situation here, kind of being split off. It was a 3v2, but they will back off. They don't know what's on the other side of that. They saw the CV, and that's enough for them to say, you know what, maybe later.
Yeah, see you later. Dazzle hits Vladimir, but that shouldn't be too much damage. Yeah, he's just gonna heal it up in 2 or 3 Qs. Actually, no, you see, he gets harassed down. That's nice. So if I was Fnatic, I'd currently be setting up for a mid push, and once that mid turret is down, Dragon. Yeah, Dragon just popped again, and just go for Dragon there. They are ahead, and as they say in another esport, when you're ahead, what you do is you get more ahead, and that's exactly what they should be doing right now.
They're doing a very good job of it right now. 24,000 to 21,000 gold. It looks like Fnatic has 3,000, and they will be taking another dragon for themselves.
Epic
Actually, I believe Epic took the first dragon. This will be Fnatic's dragon now. So it's 1-to-1 on dragon kills. Looks like Doublelift wants to get his Q across, but they do see that it has been pulled away from dragon, and they will not be able to get to it. Looks like we will be moving up to mid, and it's going to be a forced team fight here most likely. And we'll see what happens. Actually, everybody dispersing. I'm a liar about the first team fight, and they're going to go on and do their own thing.
They just pinged Baron.
Yes, they did just ping Baron. Actually, they may be going up towards Westrice. He is backing right now, and he has a pretty good item build on himself. Going for that Ryla's. Already has his belt. Really, that health is what he's doing. You can see him doing the damage early game. You don't need to get damage right away. Get that sustainability, get that survivability in lane, and he's really able to do a lot more damage. You know, the longer you're alive, just makes sense.
And early game, the base damage of skills is just so important still. You just don't need to build on ratios right away. Oh, that burst, just that looks painful.
And there's a life belt coming into play. He's taking a pretty good amount of damage, but not taking it down because he has a lot of HP at this point. And you can see the second he hits Failure, which is, as we've said before, EPIK that is being subbed in by We Will Failure. He is taking a quarter damage of his health every time that Westrice comes in. So imagine the fight, what happens when he focuses MF instantly in the fight, taking away all that damage and really leaving it up to Jarvan and Swain to put down that damage to everybody in the fight.
The question is simply, can he get to MF in a fight? And that's exactly what Fnatic will have to try and defend against. MF already building a Hex Trinker clearly against that Akali. She is a little bit scared, that she's right to be scared. Oh, look at that, Shushay with the early Soul Stealer. Wow. 2-1-1 there. He does a lot of damage right now, and in a team fight, he's definitely going to pick up some kills. But yeah, if the game goes bad right now, it's going to go even worse for them.
There's Vladimir. We can see Salsi picking up a little bit more spell vamp, and he did a lot of damage right there to Alistar. Both level 14. We can see Tarek kind of moving around. The Oracle's Elixir is now out. The Oracle Elixir will allow you to see wards anywhere around the map, the enemy wards that you run into, and allow you to take those out. A very helpful thing that they can do. Looks like they will be also placing their own wards as they make their way over towards blue. A little damage going up top. Tarek changes his direction. Melisande going up. Dan Din is in the bush. Do they know? And it looks like he will just say, you know, nothing's happening there. Will they be able to get this one, though, onto Peak, or Valor? The ultimate from Amumu coming down. Westrice coming in, and absolute damage. Quarter of his life just chunking away by the damage of Westrice. He now has both of his passives working effectively, as you can see there. One green glowing comma and one red glowing comma that he has in his hands. And it looks like they're going to focus something towards the river here, on Baron. We can see a lot of pings going down, a lot of commotion by both teams. They see the wards being taken out as well. They want to get out of that situation. Tempest on Doublelift is able to reveal wards, and that's how they actually got that one away. If Lee Sin uses his E ability, they're able to reveal invisible objects and units around them. Very well played in that one, knowing where to use Tempest.
Vladimir so out of position. He is so out of position, and he does not have, he didn't even bring a flash, so not much he could do there in the team fight. Misfortune channeling Akali, jumping on her immediately, everybody turning to Akali, obviously trying to defend the carry. Carry now coming back into the game. They're diving into the turret, and they seem to get away with it, actually. Cyanide, I mean, Akali was stunned, but she was already in her shroud, so the stun didn't actually help there, and that was well, there was the Vladimir kill, and they didn't actually kill anyone from Fnatic. I was sure they almost had someone there. And you could see the moment that Akali jumped on Misfortune, all of Team Fnatic just turned around and was like, we gotta protect that Misfortune.
That was exactly what I saw happening. We still see a big invasion here. Shushay and Failer going into there. They're going to take blue, obviously. Like I said before, it's just the thing you donate to Swain. It makes him so much more powerful. He can like leave his ultimate on and use his cooldown so quickly.
I would not be surprised if they gave it to Shushay. Let's see what happens. They gave it to Shushay. It's a Fnatic thing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Fnatic run blue buff on Shushay even if he has an AP hero that doesn't need blue buff, and if the other AP has a hero that needs blue buff. They still do it because they just say, sorry, the power of Shushay.
Yeah, it's really that effectiveness in the gameplay. It's knowing when your tank is going to initiate and when it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yes, and they just don't. They just know Shushay, and yeah, Shushay is not doing too badly for himself. Let's see what he's going to pick up now on his way back home.
So we're 24 minutes into the game right now, and it looks like Fnatic has yet to drop a tower and have dropped 3 towers of Epic Gaming. At this point in time, we do have a click onto Baron. We'll have to see who starts moving towards that one. And it looks like the blue will go to Failer on this one. He will be able to take that one down. A quick smite as well from Cyanide to make that a little easier. Giant bird, he's going to be able to take it down. And we do have 4 members of Fnatic gathering together in middle. That turret very low in mid, 276 HP. It could be their first turret to go down, but they've done a very good job spacing themselves out, keeping themselves in the turret range and in lane. And we're going to have to see what happens here. They force a fight. Dragon is not up yet. Looks like they are going to head down, though, and possibly jungle invade on this one if they turn right quickly. No, they're just going to go down to bottom. I don't know where they're going. They're just partying. They want to be in the river right now. It looks like Epic is kind of going the same way as well. Looks like they laid down a ward as they were moving by as well. Looks like Dan Din may bite on this one. He doesn't want to go in the jungle. He's like, I don't know where they are and I don't see them. So I don't really want to enter this by myself. He's kind of going back and forth, maybe to draw out an attack, make somebody, or let them know that they're there, call them out. And just pretty much all 4 members that can be, no, all 5 members. There she is. MF coming into the fight. Lamia is there. And the Nevermore comes out. They know they're there. Looks like Dan Din will execute with the Amumu all of being pulverized up. Huge damage coming out of the hands of Shushay. Double Lift taking a lot of damage. Can he get out in time? He does flash. Westrice still alive, and he may be able to do a good amount of damage, but it's only a 1 focused player damage, and he may go down in this fight. He was able to get out with the Shroud. A quick bump. The Dazzle on, and he's stunned away. He will go down in this situation if they can get another headbutt, and they do. Transfusion onto Shushay. Salsi trying to focus somebody here. He was able to take down 1. There it is on Shushay, and it looks like he's getting more. Able to take down another. Swain falls as well. 4 down right now for Fnatic to the 3 for Epic. A triple kill coming out of the hands of Salsi, playing very well. They were all focusing Double Lift and then Westrice, and Salsi's like, all right, I'm just going to steal all your health.
I can work with that. What happened in this fight actually, unfortunately, Lamia didn't get the support this time around. They chased him up the bushes after he got caught near Mumu ultimate, and they had 2 people chasing him. That's why the fight in the river first went for Fnatic, because 2 people from Epic were missing, but they were taking out Lamia. And in that situation, I'm not entirely sure why Fnatic decided not to back up Lamia. Last fight, they backed her up, and they won. And this fight, they just left him alone, and they lost the fight in the long run.
So we're going to see everybody just kind of getting back to the farm in their lanes, trying to soak up that experience at this point in time. The lanes are pretty well pushed, especially if you don't have turrets, as I've said before, and I'll say it again and again. A good rule of thumb is don't cross the river alone. It's called overextending, and it's not something your team is going to love you for. You're going to see these guys just pretty much at their turrets. MF farming bottom, stopping damage from being done on that turret. We can see Shushay, and that is Cyanide, as Jarvan kind of hanging around there, maybe forcing a fight here. They're all 5 members of Epic, possibly grabbing their 2nd dragon of the game. Dragon spawns every 6. Were they able to get it? And I believe that went to...
looks like it. I believe that went to Fnatic.
Indeed. And we have this team fight going on. It looks like Failer going down quite quickly. Saul's able to take him down. It looks like MF was again forced to flash out of the fight instead of give her team the support damage that they need. And it looks like they will both go down. Again, Westrice able to take 1 down, as well as Salsi, I believe, was able to get that other one in his favor. A 5, almost ace, pretty much making Misfortune leave the fight. Would have gone down with the damage that Epic is doing right now. And they have chosen a beautiful counter team to what Fnatic has on the pitch right now.
And once again, it was just a question of 1 person being caught out of position. Failer shouldn't have been there with Swain. He's not tanky enough to actually be the first one to be focused. And after they saw that he lost health so fast, they were starting to run. Westrise jumped on the Lamia. He had to flash over the wall. There was no damage from him. And that's it.
Huge.
I mean,
there's the Baron as well.
Yeah, the Baron goes to Epic Gaming as well, and it's starting to look bad.
It really seems like it's one of those things where, you know, I have red buff. I'm kind of going to peek out and show myself and let you know that there's one of us here. I have red buff. But there was vision on the map for Epic, and they were able to see somebody was fighting minions. Somebody was over here just a few seconds ago. They're not going to get here in time. And that's something Epic took into consideration very quickly and were able to take out, as you said, Cyanide quite quick as well. Or a failure, sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, just too much damage on him. He obviously built a Roll of Ages, so that he does have a little bit of extra life, but that's it for him. He doesn't have any damage mitigation. He doesn't have that much AP yet. And even though he has 2 heals in his team, it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Oh, Westrise going for Shushe there. Shushe does not want to take this 1v1. He is probably not doing so good anymore because he lost stacks on his Soul Stealer right now. This is why you don't usually build Soul Stealer in a high-level game. Because once the game starts turning against you, it turns against you really, really quickly. You lose stats, you become weaker after a death, and the enemy team becomes stronger because they just killed you and got all that gold and experience. So you don't usually see these snowball items in serious games.
Yeah, it just makes more sense to have the damage you're going to have all game and build off of that instead of rely on damage that you're creating all game and might lose.
Okay, so this is a build that I see in the American servers a lot for Lee Sin, where he built a Warmog and followed that up probably with an Atmas. I think that's what the armor is for. Obviously good synergy between those 2 items. And Team Epic, it seems, are setting up for a tower kill in top lane. And there's just XP here to defend, and obviously he knows he can't defend this, so he just goes back and gives them the tower.
Yeah, doing a very good job of map control right now. Epic, they, however, don't have too many wards. They have 2 up by Baron, not 1 on Baron at all, actually. But they are doing a very good job of moving around in groups, rat packing, as I call it, and making sure they have power in numbers in every place that they go, that they won't be caught off guard and they won't be overextended whatsoever because they have somebody right there to give them assistance. Each minion, as it walks up to a turret, can take 2 turret shots, so you can kind of base that off. There were 3 minions. You got 6 shots coming up. And we do see a team fight coming down to Mumu with the ultimate, as well as Never Move coming out of the hands of Swain. Lamia taking a lot of damage, but he's able to stay in this fight for the longest one as he has possibly yet. And a lot of people going on. Doublelift taking down Tariq. Melisande falls to the ground. Doublelift going down by the hands of Shushe and his very powerful Alistar. And Westrise on to Lamia as well. An ace coming out of the hands of Epic very nicely there as they're able to take down possibly another turret. A Mumu possibly having enough health to tank down this one as well. And we are going to see what they have here in favor for them. 150 gold all around. The Baron still in use, and that's something they really needed. Yeah.
So it looks like Epic are going to have a 3-win, a perfect 3-0 group. That is, I don't know if a lot of people saw that one coming, but yeah, this was very, very convincing. After that fight in River, it really turned around very strongly for them, and now all of a sudden, Fnatic went from being 3k gold up to being 6k gold down, and yeah, okay, that's not a Fnatic member blue pilling. I thought they caught somebody blue pilling there. No, but yeah, it's looking bad now. It's 18-3 in favor of Epic, and like I said, 6,000 gold advantage on their team as well. Fnatic has to get a perfect team fight where Lamia just stays alive all the way through, but Westrise at this point is so powerful with Lich Bane and Realized Crystal Scepter.
Kind of ridiculous. A lot of farm going on both teams right now. The most consistent farm obviously going to Epic. They've had the most time on the map. Aces twice on Fnatic's side, but we do see that MF has 254, the highest in the game right now, to the 214 by Vladimir. They were both mid, and MF was actually bottom in a double lane.
Yeah, well, double lanes farm as much as solo lanes in the European meta because you just have a support there.
Right, the support, as we said,
keep you farming.
Tariq only has 12, and that's the reason.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the same for Epic with 18 kills on Soraka.
Looks like we're going to have a little bit of focus here on this top turret. Salsi moving through with his blue buff. He's just going to use that for cooldowns. He doesn't really have any mana to regen, so that's going to assist him to stay alive in the health, allow him to sustain a lot faster, and allow him to pool around a lot quicker and be very deceptive in his moves. There we go. You see Tides of Blood. That's going to assist how much health he takes. You saw that second transfusion doing a lot of damage to Shushe right there. Is Shuche able to go back? He is now forced, and we see Jarvan with the Banshee's Veil on. They have gotten inside on this one. Will they begin to activate the fight? It looks like they are focusing. Amumu ult goes down. Not a lot of damage being done, however. I don't think they have the correct focus at this point in time. Everybody's standing in the MF ult, and everybody's taking a good amount of damage. Melisande goes down. The healer, Taric, is down by the hands of Dan Din as Amumu. And we are going to see if Cyanide goes down in this situation. Amumu is forced away by the tower. Doublelift falls, and so does Salsi. And Fnatic looking to finally get an upper hand in one of their fights, and it required their base. But they're really going to be able to turn the tables on this one. Hopefully get a push, get some towers down, maybe a dragon. That's not really going to help them too much. It's going to be gold. They need it, so it will help. That's a lie saying it won't. But really right now what they need is a Baron and like a few towers, and that would kind of level out what's going on. There's not enough time for that with the spawn times yet
Baron
in this game.
Spawning soon. Baron should be spawning soon, so we will see if Soraka actually gets away here. It doesn't look like it. There is a cow who is going to ruin her day. Yeah, it's not a friendly cow. And that was an amazing team fight there. They just split up too much. They didn't kill Lamia. They didn't exactly go for her. Then it was a perfect Jarvan ulti. It needs to be said that Jarvan ulti was just beautiful. Yes. Keeping everyone exactly inside the Misfortune ulti and keeping everyone from finishing off. I think it was Shuche, who was very, very low at that point. And then just went back and healed. Now this is a little deceptive. It looks like Fnatic are back in the game, but you should be cautious here. They are still behind. That was a great team fight, and I really liked seeing that sort of team fight. But they are still behind, and they are still fighting for the
very
lives
much
here.
so. That inhibitor is still down. They don't really want to make too many moves until that inhibitor comes back up. You can see the waves of super minions here on Alistar in middle, just kind of punishing down on these minions. And those are the minions we were talking about before, the super minions that can do a lot of damage to people like Misfortune towards the end of the game. Right now, she's attacking faster than she needs to, almost not even taking damage from red buff because of the health steal she has. So that's really working in her advantage right now. Pretty good build there, but she's not outputting too much damage at this point right now. She's kind of got that Hex Tech, looking for a little bit of magic defense as she gets low, trying to stay alive since there is quite a bit of AP on the side of Epic Gaming at this point in time. And Jungle Invasion coming up here. Will they be going up top to focus somebody, possibly check for the red? It is not there. Doublelift says now, my Q did not hit. You guys didn't hear it either. And it looks like they're just going to start roaming the jungle. Here comes the jungle control and the mentality game where Epic starts to really take it to Fnatic. And Baron has actually just spawned. We'll see what the movement is. Maybe a forced fight. They're actually going to look for Fnatic to walk through the jungle to Baron. They're actually quite spread out for something like that right now, as Fnatic is quite spread out themselves, as Alistar on the fountain, MF up top. They have 3 in middle, but they are still kind of moving around in packs in the jungle. You can see Taric with the Oracle Elixir trying to look for those wards, and they have found one right there.
They're going for it, but Fnatic has a ward here, and Fnatic are coming in place. The question is, will Alistar make it there in time? Yes, and they cancel. They shouldn't pick a fight right now, but as long as they can keep them away from Baron, they're going to be fine. Alistar also picked up Deathfire Grass, which is going to be amazing for his burst. He'll just go in, he'll basically pick one hero from Epic and just negate that hero completely by just killing him at the beginning of the fight. And it looks like Epic may actually still be going for that Baron. The ward is still there, they should know about the ward being there. Fnatic coming into place. Is this just Epic baiting them for a fight? Is this Amumu looking for a good toss and a good ulti?
Ooh. Yeah, this really stops them from being able to do anything. Breaking the Banshee's Veil onto Jarvan, so his ultimate will work. Absolutely melted. Swain goes down by the hands of Salsi. Oh no, Epic Doublelift was able to get that one in his favor. A lot of damage being done right now to Melisande. Taric also falls. The ulti coming out of MF was just walked around by the other team. Very good job by Salsi. And it's only Jarvan alive by himself, running for his fountain. A very nice job coming out of the hands of Epic. Just a great job being able to shield his team. Lee Sin flying all around the map. Salsi not even really having to pull in that fight. Double buff for him as well, that plaid buff as I call it. Here's that inhibitor they're able to take down again, and they do have a minion wave coming right behind them. They either have both turrets and the Nexus, or just both turrets. And it looks like they have a lot of damage going down. They will be able to do this. Jarvan just kind of trying to negate what they're doing and slow them down, but it's 10 to 15 seconds and 8 seconds for the next spawns, and I don't believe they're going to be able to stop these 5 members of Epic from taking down the Nexus. It looks like Epic will be able to take down Fnatic in their last match of the day, and that is a very much so GG.
Very good, very well played by Epic there. As I said, Fnatic did not make it back into the game. It looked like they had an amazing team fight that they turned around, but it just was not enough. And once again in that last fight at Baron, it was really, unfortunately, We Will Failure who got caught out of position, who was in the river near the bushes where he did not need to be. And then they just said, well, cool, we'll take it. We'll fill that Swain in absolutely no time. And once again, Lamy had 2 people jumping on him. Westrice with his Akali just jumping in immediately. And then Lee Sin landed a Q, jumped as well. And that is a 3-0 in that group for Epic Gaming. So they are taking the first place in the group. And it's down to Fnatic and AAA to see who actually moves on. So to quickly explain that to everybody who may be on the stream wondering what we're talking about right now, there are going to be relegation matches tomorrow, meaning the second place of one group is going to fight against the third place of the other group. And those are going to be modified best of 3s, meaning the third place needs to win 2 games, while the second place only needs to win 1 game. That means that even the second and the third place in a group still have a chance to go on to the finals. The fourth place is going to be eliminated today. I assume that Pacific just lost their game, so Pacific are probably out of this.
They more possibly could be. You know, the beginning of this game, I really want to say that, you know, Epic was, you know, had to have their heads down for a second. Doublelift getting taken down twice in the first, before 2 minutes, a minute and 30 seconds, taken down twice. And the team, you know, to come back from that 4, 7, and 8, still doing quite well for himself. You know, Doublelift, or Lee Sin, I should say, one of those champions that wants to get into the fight, you know, has to kind of be a support for some of the champions, kind of get that shield down. Also utilize getting away and an escape for himself. But a very good game overall. You know, Lamia doing what he could, but I don't think his burst damage was enough. And it really, an Infinity Edge would have helped out there. He went for the Hell Steal so he could stay in the battle, but Westrice took him out of the battle instantly. A huge counter to Misfortune in that one, and letting Westrice get Akali was not really a smart idea. But, you know, they went with what they had. It was a very good counter to the picks that they had on Fnatic's side. A well-played game overall. Dyrus doing a great job of assisting his team. 16 assists on his side, continuing to get the heals down. Everybody pretty much almost to a full build on Epic's side. And you can see the farm just that much more, except for Lamia with the 281 on his side.
Yeah, and the problem with Lamia is simply you have that sustained damage from an AD if he can stay in the fight.
Yes.
In every fight they managed to keep him safe, they won basically because of that massive amount of sustained damage. But if they can't protect him, they have very nice bursts there that can kill somebody who's already low health. But you need an AD to get them low health, or you need an AD to finish them off. And Lamia was just completely out of it. And interesting how they played this. I mean, Lee Sin almost played more of a bursty character than an actual AD character with his jumping in, doing a quick ulti. There was not a classic lineup with an AD here, and it just worked. I mean, the bottom lane failed, just like we predicted it would. The bottom lane, they lost the tower very, very quickly. They were outfarmed really, really strongly by Lamia.
Yeah, very much so.
It's just, if the team fights don't work, if they can negate that advantage, because that advantage from the bottom lane translated into Lamia being farmed. And if Lamia is farmed but still gets taken out in teamfights, then that advantage is moot. You know, there's no point in having an advantage.
You know, you can have your support down bottom, but usually support a ranged carry.
Yes.
Not a melee. That's very difficult to get in there, very difficult to do damage. And, you know,
Farm
overall,
even,
just think about it. You know, you're in there trying to get a last hit. All MF has to do is walk up and double up a minion right next to you. That's a lot of damage that just starts draining the health of Soraka. And overall, you know, both of you are kind of having a hard time in the lane. And, you know, if one of you was doing it, you could kind of, you know, support the other player a lot. But it really just wasn't working out for him. And actually, do we have any questions on the forums from the Ask a Caster?
Tons and tons and tons of questions.
We should have some interviews coming up soon with the players.
Not a question, but somebody loves how Shushe plays AP Alistair. We all do.
Yeah, it's kind of it's one of those things like where you find yourself kind of starting to like a player, and you just kind of put your smile on your face. You're like, we get to watch an AP Shushi match with
We are most probably going to see them tomorrow again, Fnatic.
For sure.
So I don't think they're going to be 4th place and eliminated, but they may be 3rd place. I don't know exactly how we are going to break ties yet. So they may be 3rd place, in which case they need to win 2 games in a row, otherwise they are out. And against whoever goes 2nd place in a group of Team Solomid and Gamed and so on. So it's going to be a very, very tough road ahead for Fnatic. It's unfortunate. One last question I will quickly take from the forums. When is EPIK getting here? He is actually in Sweden. He is on his way to Elmia right now. He did not make it for the group stage games. Unfortunate, but we couldn't do anything about that.
Still playing strong.
Yes. Okay, and we are ready for the post-game interviews there, so we'll give over to the tournament area.
Here with Team Fnatic and EPIK Gaming. We're going to talk to Team Fnatic first. And you were Tarek, right? What's your name?
My in-game name is Madison, and yeah, I played the Tarek.
Yeah, and you guys played a very strong game. Like, you guys, like, I couldn't tell who was going to win for so long. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think happened there?
Well, I think we just messed up some team fights in the middle of the game, and then Akali and Lee Sin just got too strong.
Yeah, you guys were doing really good in the 2s and 3s fights, but then it just seemed like the team fights, you just kind of got outplayed a little bit.
Some were messed up in protecting Misfortune. I think that's the main point.
All right, well, you guys are still doing great, and like I said, you know, you're pretty evenly matched, so, you know, GG.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, and, yeah. So, we're here with...
Dyrus.
Dyrus, and you were playing Soraka, right?
Soraka, yeah.
Yeah, why are you shaking your head no?
I'm not a Soraka player at all. From the qualifiers, you know that I'm probably the worst Soraka player in the world.
But you picked Soraka to shut down.
Well, that Soraka was a bad pick because they had a Misfortune, which had healing reduction, but I guess she couldn't dot everyone. I was actually surprised at how tanky our team was. The reason why the job was really easy for me is because they never like really burst anyone. That like everyone was about half HP, and I was just sitting there, and it's like I'll just ult when no one's getting ignited or healing reduction.
That was a tough game to play as someone's pretty squishy, huh?
Yeah, double if, oh my god. Every day, man. He carries me sometimes, but we tell him not to face check it at level 1. We got dominated at level 1. Like,
Who are you most afraid of?
on their team?
Yeah.
Alistar. In this matchup, when I was Soraka, in the middle during the dragon fight, you might have saw it, but I got punched and then Falcon punched and then pulverized, and I died instantly. What happened? I pressed silence on him, which would have been good, but I smashed the button where I pressed ult first, and I didn't use flash. So that's why I say I'm not an experienced Soraka player like pure Golden Boy.
And then he got you.
Yeah.
That dang cow. All right, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you in the next game.